Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to see about cryptography concepts. So myself Satheesh Kumar, Associate Professor from Department of Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. So first, what is that cryptography? Cryptography is simply the art of secure communication. That means when you are sending an information and receiving an information, that information should get secured. That should not be lost in between the transformation. That's what the cryptography is meant for. So how are we going to achieve this secure communication? For that, we can use the plain text, ciphertext, and encryption decryption standards or techniques. So first let's see what is that plain text. The original readable message. For example, if a person A is there, A is the source and B is the destination, and A sending the message hi to destination B, the original message here is hi, and that is the plain text. And ciphertext is simply the encrypted message. So encrypted message means that message is not readable by other persons. So they can't able to read that message, what the content is, what the information is. For example, the hi can be decrypted as 1, 2 like that, any numbers. So if your hacker can read that 1, 2, they don't know what is that 1, 2 is. So that is the ciphertext and encryption. So the process of converting the original text, that is plain text, into ciphertext is called encryption, and the process of converting ciphertext, the reverse process, converting ciphertext back to plain text is decryption. There are number of encryption and decryption techniques are there, and that is based on the which information you are passing. The information passed to this particular communication system, that information will get received at the other end. So what is the information passed? Same information should receive at the other end. That is the process of cryptography. And for this encryption and decryption standards, they are using the key. So what is that key means? It's simply an information for making encryption and decryption process. So how the encryption can be done, how the decryption can be done. So that is the process of encryption and decryption. And here is the uh, types of cryptography. There are two different types. One is the symmetric key cryptography, another one is asymmetric key cryptography. Symmetric key means for encryption and decryption, we are using the same key. The key is the information to get encryption and decryption. So we are using same key for encryption as well as decryption. Similarly, the asymmetric key cryptography means they are using different keys for encryption and decryption, and they are using the public key. Public key means accessible by anyone for encryption, and private key for decryption. That is very important here. So private key is used for decryption. That private key is available with the destination in. So these are some example algorithms for symmetric key. We can say AES and DES are the famous algorithms. For asymmetric key, we can say RSA and ECC. And let's see what is that symmetric key. So advanced encryption standard, data encryption standard, and triple data encryption standard. These are some of the example for symmetric key encryption, and this uses the same key for encryption as well as the decryption. If you what key is used for encryption, the same key is to be used for decryption at the other end. That is the destination end. And the advantage. So if you are using both ends, we are using the same key. So it is providing the highest efficiency. Also, the speed is very high compared to asymmetric key cryptography. And the disadvantage or drawback here is how securely you exchange the key between the source and destination. You can see the diagram. In the diagram, the hello is the information to be passed from source, and that information hello is the plain text here, And you can see that the ciphertext mentioned as J, K, N and Q. So this is the information. Even the hacker read that information, they don't know what is that mean for. After that, applying decryption. So when you apply decryption, you should apply the decryption key. So once the decryption key is applied and perform the decryption, you get the original message back. So now you can see that hello is the original message at the source end. Hello is the decrypted message at destination end. So we are using the encryption key, decryption key, both are same. And how securely you are passing the keys, encryption key and decryption key to corresponding source and destination is very important here. On asymmetric key, you can say the reversed Samir Adelman and ecliptic curve cryptography. These are the few examples for asymmetric key cryptography. And here, what is the drawback of symmetric key cryptography will get resolved here. So it simply solves the key distribution problem, and it can use two different keys. One is for encryption, another one is for decryption. For encryption, it uses the public key. For decryption, it uses the private key. So public key to be used for converting plain text to ciphertext, and private key is used for converting ciphertext to plain text back. But the drawback is very similar, that it is slower than the symmetric key algorithm, because it is using two different keys, so it may take more time than expected. And these are few challenges in cryptography. In quantum computing, the potential to break current cryptographic algorithm is very high. And the key management, how securely, that's what we discussed, how securely the key gets generated and distributed to the source and destination, and where are you going to store the keys. These are the few challenges. Also, how the user can react to that keys. For example, if the public key and private keys are available, source side should use the public key. Also, the destination side should use private key for asymmetric cryptography. So that is the human factors that affecting the cryptographic concepts. So in the conclusion, we can say it is very essential for transferring information from one end to another end. We should use the plain text, ciphertext, that is encryption and decryption standards, as well as converting ciphertext back to plain text. So this is the basic about cryptography concepts. Thank you.